So, Doctor Who survivors of the Flux. What what was this episode? This episode, it sort of cements this idea that Chris Chibnall's possibly trying to end Doctor Who. And I don't mean that in like a negative way, like he's destroying the show. There have been plenty of people making that guess already and having those feelings already. That's not what I'm trying to say. I feels like he's trying to definitively end Doctor Who. And has he earned that? Who has earned the right to write the final Doctor Who story? I don't think anyone does. I don't think anyone has that. But this sort of feels like we're trying to bring an end to the Doctor story. Like the Doctor, as we know the character, this story is ending. Is that for the best? Is that not? I don't know. But anyway, this episode is sort of throwing everything, not really throwing everything at you, because that's really what this entire Flux story has been. Just Chris throwing a bunch of stuff at you every time. A bunch of different stories coming together. And we're supposed to get the idea of what's going on. There's still things about the Flux I don't understand, as this episode tries to explain the Flux. Also explaining once again, I'm pretty sure that Chris Chibnall has definitely heard Zagreus. Probably definitely has heard Zagreus. Anyway, so this episode is so the Doctor meets the woman that we saw at the end of Once Upon Time. That was interesting, finding out who she was. I'm not going to tell you who that was because that was kind of important. But essentially, she does come face to face with Division, and I'm kind of not impressed. I'm like, okay, sure. Nothing seems to have changed, I guess. We find out what Dan, Yaz, and Professor Jericho are doing, being awesome. And we get some history of UNIT. We get to see Kate. Kate's here, but it's not really Kate where I think everyone was looking for her. We're trying to figure out where Kate is in a post We Done Lost UNIT continuity. I'm not sure if this is, but we found more of the history of UNIT, which has apparently divided the fans. But I think everything kind of divides the fans in the Chibnall era, so that's kind of nothing new. The story between Vinder and Bell have dragged Carvanista into it. I think, has everyone sort of forgotten that Carvanista like personally knows, or at least has worked with the Ruth Doctor, like the fugitive doctors? Have we forgotten that? Do you think we've forgotten that? Because I'm kind of, so that would mean that Carvanista knows the Doctor, so which means he would know that the Doctor's memories have been erased. So my question is, how did the Doctor find Carvanista? That to me has never made sense. But anyway, Carvanista is involved, the Santarans are involved. This is once again another classic element of everything coming at it. But there is a problem with this story that I think has always been a problem. This is not unique to Chris Chibnall, but I think it's at its worst with Chris Chibnall. And that is, the Doctor is important because the Doctor. So this story reveals that the Doctor's memory was erased, all of those memories, because the Doctor would ruin Division's plan. The Doctor would give people hope, optimism, make them fight back, and that's just all too much. I'm like, wait, is that the Doctor's actual power? There's the Doctor just, to me that's such a terrible power. It's a terrible thing to say. Like, he'll just rally people to stop. Like, wait, does it matter? Your Division. You recruit Weeping Angels. What stops you? We still haven't found a way to actually stop Weeping Angels except mirrors and cracks in the universe. You know how hard it is to place mirrors right in front of Weeping Angels, let alone find cracks in the universe. That plot point's been done. So, yeah. Yeah, also anything that takes the image of an angel becomes an angel. You're already OP as it is. Alright? And you apparently recruit everyone. So, yeah. Also, what's weird is Division is apparently part of Gallifrey. So, did they just not notice what's been going on? Like, essentially, they've taken the Celestial Intervention Agency, turned it up to like 1,000, and have somehow expected me to believe that they just said, well, if Gallifrey's gotta go, Gallifrey's gotta go. I'm like, wait, if the point of Division is, among other things, an organization created by Gallifrey, should it not also be obligated to protect Gallifrey? Where have you been during the Time War? With the Daleks? And apparently, oh, well, no. This universe is going to pod. We're gonna put everything we like in a different universe, and Division will be in charge of that. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Yes, this is kind of stupid. Also, the whole Yaz and the Doctor thing, I'm sorry. I know people like this dynamic. I know people ship this dynamic. And make no mistake, I'm not telling you your ship is invalid. I'm going to say your ship is horribly handled. Because here's the thing you can say, oh, they're being cute and awkward. But ultimately, 3 seasons, I haven't seen these two have a fun rapport. Like even like the basis of what I would consider friends between Doctor and Companion. You know, the Fourth Doctor and Sarah Jane, Seventh Doctor and Ace. They really do want to hammer home the Seventh Doctor and Ace bit. I think showing that Yaz is just as competent and capable, but it's really only been done well in the Seventh Doctor and Ace. The 12th Doctor and Clara didn't really handle it well. There's still the 10th Doctor and Donna, which is a great dynamic. If you want to go romantic, you can go the 10th Doctor and Rose, or you can go 8 and Charlie. You know, the sky's the limit here. Like, Doctor Companion romances aren't my thing, but they've been done better. They've been done definitely more clear, with more stuff to work on other than my representation. Do better, people. Demand better. I just I don't see this dynamic, and them trying to go like, oh, what would the Doctor do? I'm like, okay, this is like what people didn't like about the Clara era with 12. And did Chris think he could do a better job of this? Because he hasn't. He really hasn't. I don't know. I don't know. This might, in my opinion, this might be sort of like the worst episode of the Flux season. Because honestly, to me, what I don't mind lore dumps. I just like, lay the lore on me. Tell me what's going on, and I'll judge the lore based on what you're telling me here. And the lore here is not much lore. Yaz, Dan, and Professor Jericho, who might be the best TARDIS trio, even though only one of them have not been in the TARDIS at all, but they at least have a dynamic. At least it's like a better version of the previous trio. I don't know. They're at least doing something. It's fun. We see how they play a role in the bigger story. My question is, what comes next for them? Like, this is presumably going to end next episode. So, how do we do this? Like, there's a fob watch involved. And we removed all form of temptation from the Doctor here. They have got to stop making this Doctor holier than thou. I can never be tempted, because it's really ruining her character. And this has been her character at her best, Flux. It has. Because it's been less of her quirkiness, which I think just sort of doesn't always land well. And now she's just sort of like focused. Even her bit of awkwardness is played up rather well, I think. Because there's less of it and more of the story. They found the right balance. Anyway, survivors of the Flux. Are we surviving the Flux? Who gives a Flux? I don't know. What is the plan? How is it going to resolve itself? We'll find out, hopefully, with episode 6. So anyway, with that in mind, which brings me to close here. If you are new to the Bucket Think Tank, feel like, comment, share, subscribe. Check some other videos, and I will catch you all later. This is Bucket Think Tank signing off. Thanks for watching. As always, may your fandom serve you well.